We're going to actually conclude the chapter about timelines in the book Illuminati Cabal Secrets. This is just just us wrapping up this information about timelines. You can find it at source hypnotherapyhealing.com. Much of this information is coming from a higher plane through channelers, and it's just the culmination of information that's illuminated, information that the controllers have hidden from humanity, and it's in order to keep humanity under control. The less they know, the better. The less likelihood that they will rise up, and they'll have to, deal with uh, a whole revolt. So obviously, they want to keep us in the dark. So let's go ahead and wrap this chapter up. SourceHypnotherapyHealing.com is where you can find this completely for free. I mention this because if you find yourself awakening and you realize that you are in what seems to be an impossible situation to get out of, I want you to realize that anything is possible. You can continue to ascend. Do not worry. Those of you who awaken and find out that you are in a religion that has Freemason origins through the York Rite Lodge, you discover that the religion has sprung from the Illuminati, or should I say the Brotherhood of the Serpent secret society, that is a satanic group. I tell all of you, if your frequency can cure a physical disease, it can get you away from that situation. You can jump to another timeline by raising your frequency. Your current timeline that you are experiencing is a frequency match with you. Change your frequency, and the negative timeline will no longer match with you. You will then jump to a positive timeline because it is a closer match for your frequency. A side note, all religions came from this group. Remember, it is a state of mind that you are stronger than these regressive beings who we will talk more about later. You are all powerful, multidimensional beings that has forgotten who you truly are. You can change timelines to whatever timeline you wish because it is up to you and no one else to create your reality. It will be difficult, but it is all part of the game that we are playing in the Matrix. What game would be fun if it can be beaten in 5 minutes the first time you play it? It possibly may feel horrible from this perspective, but not from an elevated perspective. You have made it to this timeline in the third density, so that tells me that you are up for the challenge. Only the bravest and most experienced souls volunteer to come to Earth as a starseed. It is far too dangerous and hard of an existence for young souls to incarnate here. I'm speaking in general and not absolute. There are always exceptions, and there can be young souls who want to expand quickly and choose to incarnate on Earth. You are here reading this information, unlocking your DNA, and helping Earth ascend in this timeline. Only a starseed or an evolved soul would get this far in this book. So that is why I say to you with confidence, starseeds, it is time to rid Earth of her regressors. As my wife says, it is time to destroy the cabal and liberate Earth. The children must be saved from these monsters. I am not saying to you and to go and fight physically with them. This is a war of light. The job for us on Earth is to bring the light of knowledge and love so the negative entities do not have any power or control over society. That's the end of chapter 3. And let's take a quick look at what the next chapter is. Book. This is at source hypnotherapyhealing.com. We just finished what our timelines. The next one is the creation of angels and dark ones. The last thing I want to mention about timelines before we move on is that we may be in a timeline that we do not want to be in, but don't fret, as we just read. We can change timelines every second, however fast, right? Very, very fast. There's timeline shifts. Now, as a collective consciousness, yes, we share in a timeline, but we as individuals are our own timeline. We don't have to be here with sharing this timeline with anyone else, that if we don't want to, if we don't like this timeline. So with, and everything's your mental state and your frequency. Once you change your mental state, your frequency will change. And remember, frequency is an oscillation. So it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. So you may have a bad moment, but you need to make sure that you have enough high frequency moments to raise your frequency. And that's all done, as I just said, your mental state. So you need to make sure that your mental state is as positive as possible. So that way your frequency raises, and then your timeline will no longer match with that your old mental state, right? So because your new mental state, your new frequency is oscillating at a higher rate, the average of it. So that's why what we need to do is get it high, so that way you match with that timeline that you wish to be on. And that way you shift to a completely different timeline. It's not something that happens overnight, just like us falling under control happened to the Cabal or to the Illuminati, Draconian Empire, however you want to call these controllers. It didn't happen overnight, but we just need to reverse it. We need to awaken to it, realize what happened, start to remember, expand your mind, then start taking action, raising your frequency, and the shift starts to happen. All right, much love to everybody. Remember, Source Hypnotherapy Healing. Contact me if you are interested in a hypnotherapy session. If you feel that there is some memories that are suppressed. Also, free information on this illuminated knowledge there under the book tab. Much love.